Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Today is Friday, January the 6th, 2023, and we have gotten to the first well, at least the ending of the first business week of the year. So I'm super excited to talk to you today about the first business week of 2023. So if you're coming on live, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know your boy, Ramonepreston, my squad, and the Ramonepreston Show. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Today we're going to be talking about the first business week of 2023. And today is Friday, January the 6th. And we have just completed, well, we're actually in the last day of the business week today. And we still have time today to execute on the highest level. And that's why I want to talk to you today about it. So if you're coming on, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, let them know the Ramonepreston Show is live. Yeah, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Every day is an amazing day because every day is the day that the Lord has made. So we should already be rejoicing and glad in it. I want you to also put in the comments what city you're watching me from. Wherever you're watching the Ramonepreston Show from today, please let me know by putting it in the comments. What city, who you represent. Put it in the comments. I love to know what city you're watching from. I love to know when you're representing your city, or maybe you're just in a city visiting. But wherever you are, just put in the comments what city you're representing and what city you're watching from today. As I said, today is Friday, January 6th, and I wanted to talk to you about, the first week of business to make sure that you have executed everything that was necessary to execute this week. So I'll start by saying welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. I'm your host, Ramonepreston. Every Monday through Friday, we come here 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time to share information with you to help you start, structure, and at some point scale your business and your income streams. And maybe if you're in ministry, we also show you how to start, structure, and scale your ministry. I'm a preacher, I'm a minister, I'm an entrepreneur and business owner. I do both on a full-time basis, every day, all day. That's what my life is made up of, being a minister and being a marketplace minister. So I know a thing or two about both worlds, especially because I've been doing both of them full time for over 20 years, entrepreneur and preacher / minister. So I know a little bit about both of them. Now, I don't know how long you've been following me this week, but we came into 2023 with one objective, and that objective was to really focus on executing at the highest level. That's one of the reasons why I extended an invitation for everybody in my community to join me on our 90-day Millionaire Blueprint Challenge. And the basis of this 90-day challenge is really for you to save a minimum of $1,000 or whatever the dollar amount is that you know is a challenge for you. It might not be $1,000. It may be 1 month of total household expenses. It may be 3 to 6 months. It may be 6 to 12. It may be you implementing, like me and my wife, the 40% rule every week for the next 52 weeks. But guess what? We came into this year and we've talked about a lot of the main things that we needed to focus on in the event that we are intending to succeed in 2023. More specifically, succeed in our businesses and in our finances. And so when you look at this first week, okay, this first business week of 2023, you've had Monday through Friday, and today is Friday, so you still got time to execute before the day is over with. And if you got to make up for the weekend, you can make up for the weekend to make sure that you're staying on point. Okay, so the first thing that you need to make sure that you revisit today, if you're analyzing and assessing your first week of business, is your goals. You want to make sure that you take a look at your goals. You need to revisit them. Maybe you need to reset them. So I came into this new year. I had plenty personal goals. I have goals in my notes. I have ultimate goals for my life that are about 15 years out. I've got personal goals for this year. I've got organizational goals for this year. So when I read through my goals, just like I did this morning and every day, when I read through my goals and look through them and flesh through them, I see that there are some goals that I set just for this year that I haven't executed. So guess what? I've got to figure out how to reset those goals so that those goals can make more sense to me, and so that those goals can mean more to me. So how do you reset your goals? Well, hopefully you've set goals for this year. If you did set goals for this year, you should have set goals for at least 1 year. That means you should have goals that take you out to at least January 2024. I mean, at least, that's the minimum. So if you don't have goals that take you out to at least January 2024, then you really don't have anything to really hold on to. Now, when I talk about goals, some of you already know I'm talking about having dreams with plans. So if you look at the next 1 year of your life, what do you want to see in your business? What do you want to see in your finances? Whatever those things are, you got to write those things down, and then you got to put a number or a dollar amount to those things. So for example, one of the things that I want to do this year, I'm just giving you an example. One of the things that I want to do this year is I want to put 10,000 millionaire blueprints in the hands of people, right? So I want 10,000 millionaire blueprint programs to be in the hands. I want 10,000 people to have access to my online business and financial training program. Well, in order for that to happen, I got to do the math. So I got to look at, okay, my goal is to have 10,000 people with my millionaire blueprint. I'm just showing you how I have to flesh through this. And this first week of business, you need to reset your goals to see and assess them to see, am I on target? Okay, if I'm not on target, I gotta go back through the math. So one of my goals is to have 10,000 people on my millionaire blueprint. So now, in order for me to figure out what I need to do each week, I gotta divide 10,000 into 52. So that's 192 millionaire blueprints a week. Did I sell 192 millionaire blueprints this week? No. So guess what? That means I haven't hit my target for this week, so that within 52 weeks I can have 10,000. So guess what? I can loathe in that. I can pout. I can feel bad, or I can hit the reset button and figure out not to change my 10,000 goal, but to figure out how can I get to this 192. Because in order for me to sell 192, I don't know how many phone calls I got to make, how many emails I got to send out. So I got to break it down and say, okay, well, how much work does it take to sell one? So I have data, I have information. I can go back and look at the math to see, okay, how many calls do I have to make? How many text messages do I have to send? How many emails do I have to put out? How many ads do I have to run? Like, how many of these things do I have to do just to sell one? And then once I figure out all of what it takes to sell one, I've got to now decide, how can I do this 192 times a week? So for example, it could be 2 ads I'm running for a certain amount of money. It could be 200 phone calls. It could be 55 text messages. It could be 40 emails. Whatever that number is, just for me to sell one, I got to multiply that by 192. All of what I'm saying to you, you have to be able to do it in every area, even when you're not hitting your specific target, okay? And so you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait until you get deep into the year to do this. You want to assess and you want to look at your business or your financial activities. You should be looking at it every day, but minimum every week, okay? So you have your goals. That's what you should be focusing on today. Seeing, have I set solid goals for this whole year? And did I do the math and divide these 52 weeks up so I can know what the numbers are or what the dollar amount is that I need to see happening or coming through every week? Once you hit your once you set your goals, then you need to set your targets. You need to figure out what are your targets. Like I said, one of my goals is 10,000 millionaire blueprints. So when I break that 10,000 down into 52 weeks, it's 192 a week. Now I got to look at my targets. What do I need to do 192 a week? Well, if I don't know, because I've never done 192 products a week, now I need to figure out, okay, what does it take to sell one? And now I can see if it took these specific numbers to sell one, I need to multiply that by 192, and that tells me how many phone calls, how many emails. But all of this is a part of your targets. You have to have certain targets, because if you went this whole week and all you did was read your goals, but your goals did not have targets, you probably didn't even do anything. You probably didn't do enough of anything. Where even though I did not hit my 192 product goal this week for my one product, I did generate revenue, but I didn't hit that 192 goal. But at least I did generate revenue because I have certain targets and I'm working towards my targets. My team and I, we're all working towards targets every day. And then once you have your targets, you need to look at what are the tasks. What are the tasks based on your targets? So for example, how many people do you have making phone calls? How many posts are you putting out? How many emails are you sending? How many follow-up calls and emails are you conducting? All of these tasks are going to help complement your targets, which are really trying to help you get to your goals. And of course, you got to look at your contacts. If you're not contacting people, my mentor always says, people have everything that you want. And he's right. People have everything that you want. People literally have everything that you want. So if there are certain things that you want, and you know those things are going to make the quality of your life better, you got to connect with people. But all of these things should be connected to your goals. So for the first week of business on this Friday, you need to be looking at the numbers, the data, the math behind what your goals for 52 weeks require you to do. So if you set goals to do certain things and you haven't done the things that your goal said you should have done by week one, it is because either your goals are not quantified with numbers, or you didn't put targets to your goals that you are able to work through tasks and making contacts all week long. So I would love to know, for those of you that are watching today, since we're in this first week, like, did you set goals this week or for this year that you hit? Were you able to do that? If you weren't, I really would like to know, what was the roadblock? Like, what was it? Was it your goals? Was it your targets? Was it your task? Or was it your contacts? I would love to know, like, if you had a problem hitting whatever the things is that you wanted to hit this week, what was it? Did you not have clear goals? Did you not do the math on your goals? Did you not have targets? Did you not break those goals down into incremental targets? Did you not have certain tasks like certain products that you needed to present, certain calls, follow-ups, emails, presentations you needed to give, certain people you need to get in contact with. Like what do you think out of these is the issue? Like, what is the problem? I would love to know. I would love to know where you are with that. And also, see here, I'm getting some business text messages coming in the middle of the show. But guess what? When it's all about money, you're gonna get my attention. All right. So I would love to know, for those of you that are watching, like, have you been able to set the goals, and have you been able to hit the targets on the goals that you set? Now, a lot of you, if you're on the 90-day Millionaire Blueprint Challenge, and your goal is to save $1,000 within the first 90 days of the year, if you broke that $1,000 down, that $1,000 is like $83 a week. So this is the first week, or at least the first business week of the year. So you should have set aside $83. If you didn't set aside $83, was it because you didn't do the numbers with your goals? Was it because you didn't have targets, meaning that you didn't look at every day this week, the days that you work, the days that you off, the time that you had before and after work, to figure out what you could do? Did you have certain tasks that you knew was going to require you to make that $83? Was there certain contacts that you made? I promise you, if you didn't do the $83, if you didn't get the $83, if you have a $1,000 goal for the first 90 days of this year, if you didn't do that $83, it's because of one of these things. You didn't have the right goals. You didn't quantify your goals. You didn't do the math. You don't have targets. So that means this week you just kind of wasted a whole lot of your time, and you didn't get anything done. So I would love to know, for those of you that are in the comments, like, did you have this situated? Were you able to put these goals in place and put your targets in place? So let's go through these four just to make sure that we're clear on everything. So again, your goals are dreams, right? Dreams with plans. I can't put emphasis on this enough. Your goals are dreams with plans. So you should have at least a goal for 1 year. That should take you out to January 2024. You should have certain things that you want to do if you're an entrepreneur in your business, for your business, and there are certain things that you should want to do whether you're an entrepreneur or not in your finances. Okay? So so in order for you to know what those things are that you want to do in your business, to be clear as goals and to have plans, or in your finances, you have to have certain numbers. You have to have certain dollar amounts. So that means you got to look at how much money you want to make this within the next year by January 2024. You got to look at how much money you need to make. And then you need to do the math on it. Whatever that dollar amount is, you need to divide it, okay? Divide it at least by 52 weeks. So now you got 51 more weeks to figure it out if you didn't do it. So whatever the number is, if you want to make $1 million this year, well, you do the math. 1 million divided by 52, that means you need to make $19,230 this first week. If you didn't make that, it don't mean you can't make it up, but what it means is you still need to know what the dollar is, because the dollar amount, the numbers, the data, the metrics is going to help your goals put targets together, okay? And so now, secondly, we've got our targets. What do you need to be focusing on with your targets? Well, if there's a certain dollar amount that you want to make or you need to make this year, you need to look at, okay, how much more time do I need to add to doing what I'm doing? because maybe you don't have products and services. If you have products and services, you got to look at products. You got to look at products. You got to look at the number of products that you have to sell. If you have multiple products and services, you have to look at the price. You got to look at the price, the dollar amount. So this is what I had to do. Remember, one of my goals is 10,000 millionaire blueprints in 1 year. That's what my goal is. Okay. So I know in order for me to sell 10,000 millionaire blueprints this year, I know it's going to be $15 million. Okay. It's going to be $15 million. If I take 5 away just for expenses and commissions and staff and operations, that means I can still bring in 10 million just by selling 10,000 millionaire blueprints. So now at least I know what type of dollar amount I should expect coming in just off of this program. So number one, this is 192 a week. I need to sell 192 of these a week. 10 million divided by 52, that's 192K a week. So even if I don't do it, at least I can start working on my targets, my time, how much more time do I need to put in, what products do I need to sell, what are the prices of those products, and then when I break that down, I can start digging into my task, okay, because I have a dollar amount. I know 10,000 millionaire blueprints is 192 millionaire blueprints a week. That's $10 million a year. That's $192,000. That's $192,000 a week. Now I have it because I've got targets. So you got to do the same math. And again, if you work for somebody, you got to think about your time. You got to think about products and price the same way the person who owns the business does. And then you got to start looking at your task. You got to look at the task. Okay, so again, in order for me to sell, in my example, 192 units, I've got to do the math. I got to do the numbers on how many calls, how many emails, how many follow-ups, how many presentations, how many posts, how many ads that I have to push in order to get 192 sold. If I don't know that, I've got to break this, divide this all the way down to just one. So this is one of the reasons why I always tell people, when you're building a business, you need to build your business around two things. You need to build your business around systems, and you need to build your business around processes. Why is that important? Because your systems are going to house your data. So all this data that I'm talking about, I'm going to go on my system when I get off of this show, and I'm going to start looking at what did we do this week? How many phone calls did we make? How many emails did we send out? How many appointments did we set? We're going to look at the data, and then we're going to see how many. We're going to look and see how many products and services did we actually sell? How many closes did we have? And what that does is that gives me the ability to look at my processes to see what is the number of steps or tasks that it took to just sell one unit. And all I got to do then is multiply that by 192, and I'll know exactly what it's going to take, or at least I have a good idea of what it's going to take to sell 192 units in a week. Because if I just sell one in a week, what did I do to sell one in a week? How many calls, emails, how many presentations, how many text messages, how many appointments, how many closes? Simple as that. And I just times that by the number that I want to reach, because my tasks are connected to my targets. My targets are connected to my goals. So I hope I explained that to you. But either way, you need to give yourself an assessment. You need to give yourself some time today to look at this first week to see what exactly have you done. How much studying did you do? How much preparation did you do? How much extra work did you do? How much time did you invest in building your business, in building relationships, in connecting with people? How many calls did you make? How many responses did you get? How many posts did you put up? If you have marketing challenges, every area of your business you should be thinking about. If you're working on your financials, did you put all your financial activities into QuickBooks? Did you reconcile it by this week? Do you have an idea of what came in this week and what went out this week? Today is the day that you need to do this, because you should take the first week of the year to start doing the math and the metrics to figure out, wow, where did I fall off at? Where did I win at? What worked? What didn't work? And what do I need to do to fix it so that next week I don't repeat it? Now, guess what? If you don't, I'm dropping everything today. If you don't do anything, that I'm telling you to do, guess what's going to happen next week? If you don't do nothing that I'm telling you to do, guess what's going to happen next week? Nothing is going to happen. You're going to repeat the same thing. This is how so many people find themselves deep into the year and they have accomplished nothing, because you don't do your due diligence at the top of the year, okay? First things, this is what you need to be thinking about. First things first. You need to look at everything you've done this week. You need to get data on everything that you've done this week. You need to get data. You need to get data on calls. You need to get data on emails. You need to get data on appointments, and you need to get data on transactions, units, products sold, customers, clients that you've acquired. You need data on all these things, okay? If you don't have data on all these things, again, this is a direct reflection of a lack of goals, a lack of targets, a lack of tasks, definitely the task, and a lack of contacts. You don't have data. So even if you got systems, even if you have a CRM, even if you have some operational or administrative system that you're using, you still need targets and tasks and contacts made in order for you to have data to put in there. If all of your data is zero, you're not winning in your business, and you need to do something differently. So here's the good thing. I've got programs, I've got courses to show you how to create systems and processes if that's what you need. If you need help with systems and processes, if you need help integrating systems and processes into your business, maybe you don't have a problem with the business startup. Maybe you already have an LLC, you got an EIN, you got a bank account, you got a Duns and Bradstreet NAV account, you got credit cards, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you even have a little business, but you just don't have the systems and processes. Today is the day that you want to fix it. You don't want to keep going into the year, because what happens is if you don't fix these things and start working on these things the first week, first things first, here's what's going to happen. Next week, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it, because if you're going to do it next week, you should have did it this week. It's just as simple as that. So a lot of people saying that to themselves, oh, I'm going to make it up next week. No, you're not. You're not going to make it up next week. You got to do it now. And if you have issues with systems and processes, which is why you do not have this data, you don't have information on the calls that you've made, the emails that you've sent, the appointments that you set, or if you have a online store, or you have some type of retail store, or you just sell products and services and you don't have clients and you don't need appointments, well, how many units did you sell? What is the number of units that you sold? And how many posts did you have to put out? How many flyers did you have to pass out? How many emails did you send out? How many ads did you run? How many impressions did you get? All these things are going to make or break, because if you can get the data on these things, all you got to do is just repeat it and figure out how you can get other people to help you repeat those things. That's all you have to do. So I would love to know, based on where you are, 6 days into the new year, this is the first business week of the new year. I would love to know if you are where you want to be based on the goals that you've set, based on the targets that you've had, based on the tasks and the contacts that you made. Have you hit your goals that you set, or the number of things that you needed to accomplish based on your yearly goals? If you haven't, there are a few things we need to do. We need to get you on a goal setting course. We need to get you educated and trained on how to properly set goals, how to determine your targets, your tasks and contacts. I have an entire template with all this in here so that you can make it easy. All you got to do is just download and print out the template. You can use it every day, okay? And then once you start working on these things, if you do not have systems and processes so that you can house the data for the targets and tasks and contacts, then I want to give you access to my course on corporate systems and processes to show you exactly how you take a system, a technological platform that houses data, and how you create processes within that, steps, so that whatever your targets and tasks and contacts are, the software or the platform, it houses the data so you can do like what I'm going to be doing today. So today I'm going to be, after this live, I'm going in there and I'm going to pull my boards and I'm going to talk to the team, and we're going to figure out, like, what did we do? And what was the volume of what we did? All these things we want to know the data on, and what was the outcome, so that we can easily determine where do we need to go up, what activity do we need to increase, and what are the things that we have to change in order to get different results. So I would love to hear from you. I would love for you to put in the comments what your biggest takeaway was from today's show. And if you have any questions, or if you need some help and some support with these things that I'm talking about, I want you to reach out to me today, because I want to give you all of the tools and the resources that you need. So you can text the word millionaire. Anytime you text this word to me, I know you're about business. I know you're serious. Text millionaire to 404-478-7213. If you need some help, if you have questions, maybe with your goals, your targets, your tasks and contacts, maybe you need access to our template and our goal setting course. Maybe you just have issues with the systems and processes. You don't know how to track the data. You don't know how to figure out the numbers and put them in a platform that you can see and do like I'm going to do today. I want to make sure that you have access to those courses and to the support that you're going to need to learn how to integrate systems and processes into your business. And last but not least, if you are participating in our 90-day challenge, tomorrow at 4:00 p.m., Saturday, tomorrow at 4:00 p.m., I'm going to host our first check-in. Well, it's actually our second check-in, because we kicked it off this past Saturday. But this is going to be a check-in for the first week to see where we are, if we're tracking, if we're going through the courses. So hopefully you're going to be available tomorrow, 4:00 p.m. We'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. You'll be able to just join me. Just turn your notifications on. Make sure you're following me on social media, so when I go live, you can just jump on and you can also track me. If for some reason you haven't had an opportunity to go through the video lessons in our 90-day challenge, I want you to go through those lessons today so that you could be exactly where I am tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. If you haven't joined our 90-day challenge, here is the website you can go to so you can join it. Ramonepreston.com/9090. Ramonepreston.com/90. Ramonepreston.com/90. 90. You could join our 90-day challenge, and you can join me tomorrow 4:00 p.m. for a special live that I'm going to be doing based on our 90-day challenge. This is going to be like a week 1 check-in to see how everybody's doing. I'll be answering questions if you have questions, and sharing some more information with you on some strategies that you can use and some solutions that we're going to provide to help you either increase your income to save the first $1,000, or maybe to expand your business and to get you closer to where your financial goals are for 2023. So again, if you have any questions, text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. I love every one of you. Appreciate you all for joining the show. I hope you got value out of our show this week. Be sure to put in the comments what your biggest takeaway was. Follow me on social media at Ramonepreston. And maybe sometimes when you're on Google, leave a review. Let people know how Ramonepreston and Ramonepreston Enterprises is helping your business, your finances, your ministry, and your economic life. Love you. Appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of the day. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll see you tomorrow if you're going to join me at 4 for the 90-day check-in. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday, 12 o'clock noon right here on the Ramonepreston Show.